Hi, this is Bobby from Horse Tender Studio, and it is time for another rambling vlog. um, it's been 2 or 3 weeks maybe since I did the last one. And I've got quite a bit of things I've been working on and could share, so I thought I would just do another one. I just did an unboxing video for Newport, the newest stablemate club horse. So I'm probably going to upload both of these videos today, which will be like a new record for me. 2 videos in one day, but we'll see how it goes. All right, well, I guess I'll start with old business, so to speak. Last time I talked about getting a new respirator and some of my respiratory issues I've been having. I'm still wearing dust masks and respirators when I do a lot of things, which is kind of frustrating. I've been feeling a bit like Bubble Boy because I'm like, take out the trash, put on the respirator, clean the cat box, put on the respirator, feed the chickens, feed Bo, put on a dust mask or something. But oh well. Yeah, the new respirator works great. And I'm happy that I can replace the filter cartridges on it whenever the time comes. I don't really know when you're supposed to do that. I am still also using my old one, which still works totally fine. I don't know if it's like a period of time or how much you use it, or if you start smelling things when you're using it. I have no idea. I suppose I should maybe look into that. But anyway, I've been using both of them, and it helps me to have them in multiple places because of my impulsive, forgetful ADHD-ness. A lot of times I'll go to do something and I'll, if I don't have the mask or the respirator like close by, I might be inclined to be like, whatever, I'll just do this real quick, this dusty thing. But like, I have the new respirator is right over here in the studio next to my like prep desk, so if I want to sand anything, I just put it on. My old respirator is out in the living room, so that if I think I need it for some household things, it's right there. I have dust masks in the garage next to like my chicken feed, and before I go out to feed Bo, I slap one on. Anyway, probably more information than anyone wants to know about me wearing dust masks and respirators. But it seems to be helping. I still have this weird sore throat allergy, I guess I'm just gonna call it, now and then that pops up, but I'm dealing with it. It's fine. Let's see. Another thing I think I talked about last time was this guy's set, this turquoise presentation set. I'm calling it done. I think I just had to tie off the lead last vlog. He's been sitting here being admired on my tack desk. But I'm going to try to get pictures of this today, and hopefully get it listed. I believe it will be, I'll put it up in my Etsy shop. So I'm hoping to have this available for purchase later today. I'm pretty happy with it. I am going to go with the plain look. I'm not going to add any bling on the collar or anything. I kind of like it as just a simple decorative thing. And I'm working on several others because I'm always kind of like doing things in batches and assembly line, whatever. So I've got a couple of black sets here. I've got a bright yellow set. I've got one that's kind of a slate blue color. I've got, one over here that's golden yellow and then light pink. So I'm braiding and making tassels for all of those colors. I really kind of like to have things like this in play because they make good portable projects. So if I decide I want to go watch a movie with Brent, or even have somewhere else to be for a while, like a month or so ago, I was actually dog sitting for a friend, and I would just go over to their house and hang out with their pupper, and I would take some floss to braid or tassels to make. So anyway, I've always got some of that stuff going on. And let's see. Other things that I'm going to be hopefully taking pictures of today and getting listed are some more stablemate blankets. I've got several more that I made on the Django mold, some G1 stablemates. That might be it for the most part. But I've got some fun colors that I haven't offered yet that are all done and ready to go. If you follow my blog, you might see that I did a recent little mini project where I flattened out a piece of artificial grass that I had that was really lumpy and bumpy, and it was hard to stand stablemates on it because they just kept falling over. And so I did a random fix where I just glued that down to a board, and so now I'm back in business for taking stablemate pictures. So yeah, I've got some of those all set up in the other room that I have set up as a photo studio, just ready to start snapping away. So hoping to do that maybe right after I finish this video. I'll go take some pictures. And then I also have some halters I've been working on. One of many ideas I've had rattling around for a while is doing some of these halters that have the leather tabs. They're like the real ones are like a nylon halter, but then they have these leather tabs that connect all the hardware. This was the first one I did. This is kind of my prototype. And I decided I didn't like the stiffness of the leather tab with the flimsiness of a single layer of nylon or ribbon. So I might put this one up for sale just because, or I might just hang on to it as kind of like a prototype. This was made on the strapless mold. I really wanted to use this like hot pink ribbon. And so that was the first one I made. And then with the hot pink ribbon, I'm also just making a regular pink nylon halter. And then I'm also making a pink one that is a breakaway halter. So it'll be all nylon ribbon around except for a leather crown piece. And I'm almost done with that one. And then the second leather tab halter I made is on this guy, the old Tricaner mold. And I went with a green with brown tabs. And for this one, I actually doubled up the ribbon, so it's got a stiffer feel to it. It's not as flimsy, and I like that a lot better. So whenever I make something new, I'm always tweaking. I'm always like, how could I make it better? And so yeah, that's what I'm going with now. And then in front of me, in that batch silliness that I do, I've got another green one laid out. And I've also got kind of a lilac or lavender color laid out. So I have a pretty good selection of that gross grain ribbon that I've been wanting to make halters and things with. And I really like the combination of the ribbon and leather. And I'm also excited by it because those little leather tabs are a perfect use for leather lace scrap. Because I find that whenever I end up with, after making tack, halters, bridles, things, whenever I end up with like little pieces like this, there's a part of me that's like, I could use that for something. I could use it for like putting a buckle on or something. And so I had a little container off to the side here with a bunch of these like little pieces. If they're smaller than this, I usually toss them. But this is about, what, 1.5 inches or so. I'm like, I could use that. So I toss it into a little container right over here, and I have been using more and more post-it notes to try to like remind myself of ideas I have for things. And so I put a post-it note right on the lid of the container, and I was like, leather scrap, leather tab halters. So that's kind of been in the works for a while. And so recently-ish, I got all the brown little scraps out and cut them into pieces to make these halters. And I think all of those scraps went into these two halters, the pink one and the green one, because they actually take quite a bit of those tabs. So I used up all that scrap. That was really interesting. So I've got a pile of other, oh, and another thing was that color of brown is, I have a couple of these up in my Etsy shop right now. And I don't even know what color he'd call this. I just called it brown. I know there's like Havana and Brandy and different brown leather tones but it just didn't really match with any of them. So it's just kind of just a brown. But I randomly had a few pieces of lace in this color. I don't even remember where they came from. They might have come in the scrap bundle from Pete at Leatheroo, who I get pretty much all my leather lace from. I haven't ordered from him in a while because I have quite a stash, but he always includes a super fun bundle of scrap lace, and it's quite a bit, especially when you're doing miniature projects. You can make all kinds of stuff with the extras that he sends, so that's super cool of him. But that might have been in that, because it's, like I said, it's just kind of an off brown color. But I had enough, as it turned out, to make 3 leather halters out of it, and I put them up in my Etsy shop. One of them sold, and I have 2 more sitting here. And then I ended up with just a bunch of little pieces, and I was like, I could make leather tab halters, and so those went into these 2 halters, and so I used it all up. Yay! Anyway, now I've shifted to, I believe this is Brandy color. I had some smaller pieces of it, and I just the other day went and stitch marked all of it. So I'm gonna make some Brandy leather halters, and then whatever I have left, I'll make more of the breakaways and the leather tab halters. So I don't know, it's probably silly, but I'm just super excited that I found a way to use up, like every bit of leather lace. I'm a dork. So yeah, those are the halters that I've got underway. Some leather, some nylon, some kind of like hybrid in between. What else? Oh, some of you may know that for BreyerFest back in March, I finished up a ton of little stablemate customs, just repaints. I've got maybe 20 of those that I had finished up for BreyerFest, like at BreyerFest, literally like at the show. I was sitting at my table painting hooves and eyeballs and things before their classes. It's what I do. So I have a bunch of those guys that are just kind of hanging out, and I've sold a couple of them, but I haven't listed the rest because in interest of getting them done quickly, what I did was they're all solid. None of them have any markings, socks or stockings or stars or stripes or whatever. So I thought it might be fun to revisit some of them and give them a bit of markings. And after I do that, I'll be taking pictures of them, getting them posted for sale. I just have perpetually so much stuff here that's just needs pictures and needs to be finished up or whatever. And another big piece of news is I am going to be going to BreyerFest, which is just in a couple of weeks. I don't even want to think about it. I'll be leaving, I think I'm gonna leave on the 8th, or the 8th or 10th, or I can't remember, but I'm gonna be driving there. It's gonna probably be a 2-day drive, and I'll be staying at the Griffin Gate with some friends, and I'm really looking forward to it. I was so back and forth on kind of like going and whether or not I was going to do the studio thing or, you know, have a job or whatever. So I missed out on all of the events. I'm not signed up for any shows or workshops. I really wanted to apply for the artist's gallery, but it just kind of happened at a weird time where I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing this summer, if that makes any sense. And so I didn't apply. I kind of didn't do anything. So in a way that's good, because it means that I'm not going to be tied to any certain event or time frame or place, and I can just kind of waft around and take it all in. The only BreyerFest I've ever been to was in 2019. It was the first time that I got to go, and it was super fun, and I was like, this is great, I'm gonna go every year. And then of course 2020 and everything happened. So and then last year I thought about going, but I was in the middle of moving for the second time, and I just decided it was too crazy. And then this year it's still kind of crazy, but I'm going for it. So I'm thinking about bringing some stuff to sell, even though I'm not really set up to sell anywhere. I may try to just like advertise a bunch of stuff before I go, and then do, you know, deliver things to people if they want to buy stuff. That being said, anything that you may come across in the next couple weeks that I have for sale, if you want me to hand it off to you at BreyerFest, you want to buy it and I'll bring it to you, let me know. That's going to be an option for the next couple of weeks. And you know, I'm torn between that, you know, trying to set up a way to peddle my wares there, or just not taking a bunch of stuff to sell and just kind of spend time with friends and wander around and kind of take in the insanity. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I have an unspeakable amount of things that I need to do and figure out before going. So a lot of that depends on where I get with those types of things, as far as what I actually bring to sell and all that fun stuff. But I will be there. I'm planning to be there. And so yeah, I will probably, if you're watching this and you're going to be there, maybe I'll see you. And then I guess last thing to talk about, I almost forgot, but they're right here in front of me, so that would just be silly, is the most recent thing that I've started doing a batch of is the Jingle Horse costumes, the Chagu Umako. I probably butchered the pronunciation, but the Jingle Horse costumes that I've made. I have a couple of kind of like floating commissions here for them that I've been chipping away at, and then a couple to sell. And I'm to the point where I needed to make some saddles. And so what I did just a couple of nights ago is I'm kind of focusing on the mini scales right now. So I went around and I gathered up the stablemate size models that I had and the micro size models I had that I thought would be good jingle horses, and grabbed some epoxy and started making some little Japanese style saddle trees for the costumes. So I'll show you. This is just the front and back piece on a mini Georg, I think is how you say it. He, I think, would be a good jingle horse. They're all draft horses, draft type. So definitely looking at the chonky horses. And then I did a few on the stablemate Clydesdale. Particularly the one with the long mane and tail, because from what I saw when I was in Japan, they don't dock the tails. So they all have long, full tails. And they also don't do the bobs in the mane or anything, for especially at the events that I went to. So this one is actually a pretty nice representation of a jingle horse, pretty decent. And then this guy, who I cannot remember his name, I think he's Samson or Mini Samson. He's from Horsin' Around, and he's a random little resin I have in my collection. He was a second that I ended up buying at one point. So he's wearing some pieces. I did a few others, but I wanted to show off this little guy who's one of Maggie's micros. I was looking at Maggie's micros and I was like, who do we have that's draft type and standing or walking? And this little guy popped up, and I said, you know what? I think he would work. The very first one of these that I made on a Bambi from Maggie's Club, and I did that one as a commission for a friend, and I did get myself a copy of Bambi after that. So I made another little saddle for her the other night. And then this is an idea of kind of what they'll look like. The pieces that I sculpted are the front and the back that you see here, but then they're connected with wood slats, and then their the end pieces are actually wood with metal accents and stuff, and a lot of times they're gold, and they just have painted gold or whatever, and then they have a lot of accents around them. So yeah, how I came up to do it for the micro Bambi was I just used epoxy to sculpt kind of like the front and the back of the tree, I guess you'd call it. And then these are toothpicks, you know, in between. And then just painted gold on the micro. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. I've got several little saddles underway here. Another thing I've been making, which is used a lot in the outfits, is fringe. So here is a bunch of fringe, and this is sewing thread. That will be a piece, and yeah, I like to kind of do batches of things that are kind of repetitive but also time consuming, so that when I sit down to start putting a presentation set or costume or something together, I have the pieces. In theory, I have the parts and the pieces, and I can just start putting things together. But anyway, I feel like I've probably rambled on enough. I guess I will close this one so that I can get it uploaded. I don't think I'll be doing another video before BreyerFest, but I guess you never know. Yeah, so just keep an eye if you're interested in anything that I've been sharing. Keep an eye out for it. I believe I'm just going to be posting this turquoise presentation set, and those halters I showed will be up in my Etsy shop hopefully today, in the next couple days. Stablemate blankets, and then the little customs, it depends on whether or not I decide to add markings and fiddle with them some more, or if I just want to stick to my finished, not perfect thing I'm trying to do lately and get them up there. Anyway, yeah, keep an eye out. My Etsy shop is Horse Tender Studio. Yeah, feel free to like and subscribe or comment down below if you want to. And as always, let me know what you'd like to see. I'm still playing with the idea of doing some tutorial videos. I feel like I should probably revisit the idea of video editing first, because not everybody probably wants to watch me ramble on and on for half an hour about how to do something. But I mean, if you want to see that, let me know. Anyway, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hope to see some of you at BreyerFest. Yeah, have a good one. Love you guys. Bye.